So the topic is for us to consider our own eulogy. The question is, at this point in the process, are we okay with what will be said after we're no longer here? Will we be okay with what people will have as material to speak at our homegoing? But not to make it so morbid in digesting that, because then now we can look at it from a different perspective and say, if we live each day with the thought on our frontal lobe versus our medulla oblongata, because people say, nah, I got it right, but it's back here. But if we move it here, then how do we think life would turn out? It would turn out a lot better. And it's okay to say, hey, this is that juncture in my life where I feel like I need to make a switch. It's okay. I had that going on. It's cool. But at some point, there should be a switch to say, okay, let me see if I can turn this around. I know I did some things. Lee, you don't know. I do. Trust me. I know. I get it. But it's got to be a switch. And come back and let's visit this in 6 months when we do it with purpose. And let's just say, what would they say as my eulogy?
Morning, guys. You know what it is. Day number 88, clean today. The task I was given would be to write my eulogy as if I were to die today. So here it goes, guys. Friends and family, we're here today to celebrate the life of Jeremy. Father, brother, son, and uncle. He is survived by his sons, JJ and Carson, his mother and father, Terry and Jeff, sister and brother, Jennifer and Jeff, and also survived by niece and nephews, Kylie, Mike, Hunter, and Cole. Jeremy has struggled for some time with his addiction, in and out of jail, prison, treatment centers, and programs such as NA and AA. He made a lot of poor choices throughout his life, but it doesn't mean he was a bad guy. In fact, he was the type of guy to give the shirt off his back if you needed it. Some of his greatest accomplishments were his two handsome sons, Jeremy II and Carson. He also loved to restore tractors and vehicles in his free time. When he wasn't with the boys or in the garage, you could probably find him in a tree stand or just out in the woods in general. Rest assured that he's in a better place and the war inside him has finally ended. He wouldn't want you guys to be sad. He would want you to suit up and show up every day and keep pushing forward. I hope y'all have a great day. I'm out.
Hi, this is James. Today, May 7th, here lies James Matthew Crane, a father of 4, stepfather of 2, an uncle, a brother, Hannah, Laura, Landon, Marley, Micaiah, Hendricks are of next of kin. He was a smart, strong, and hard worker. He struggled to keep his emotions in check. He loved with all his heart and wore it on his sleeve. It caused him such vulnerability and grief that it was hard for him to stay sober. He battled addiction for most of his life. Though there was stints of sobriety and abstinence, he kept relapsing and bring him on the brinks of suicide. Anger controlled him. Resentful of life, he was trying to get it together and just was in recovery for 80 days, and something devastating happened. We will miss him. I don't see too many people that has been through hell and back still try to give back something he didn't have. That's all I got.
We're asked to write our own eulogy, so here it goes. Friends and family, welcome and thanks for coming. We meet here today to celebrate the life and, of course, remember Jacob Strandis. In this family, it is no secret the struggles he's faced in the last several years, and any loss at this age offers us many opportunities for reflection. He leaves behind many heavy hearts, people who loved him dearly and unconditionally, and those people need our support now more than ever. Facing the disease of addiction, Jacob didn't suffer this disease alone, and all of them are now paying the worst consequences this disease has to offer. The youngest of the 3 children, he leaves behind a loving mother and father, 2 sisters and their respective husbands, 3 nephews, 2 nieces, and a slew of in-laws. He also leaves behind his wife of nearly 7 years, his best friend in this life, and their 2 daughters who were the biggest joys in his life. Of course, he joins his daughter Eleanor in heaven, a small comfort for those he leaves behind. Brought into the world October 25th, 1990, to a large and loving family, many could describe as completely all-American, especially considering that his papa was a first-generation Italian-American and described in detail the difficulties that his family faced in those circumstances, including attacks from the KKK in southern Ohio. Many have described him in his youth as adventurous, active, fearless, and always kind. In one family dinner, you might hear stories of him climbing on counters to stick things in the microwave as a toddler, to waiting for his teammates on his elementary school soccer team to give him a turn with the ball during the game. His impulsive behaviors appeared to the bewilderment of his parents around middle school, when his interest turned towards girls, his band, his team sports, and other extracurricular activities. Jacob chased excitement alongside his friends and was not immune to the consequences that can't come over time. Those activities shifted after many traumatic events of his late teen years and early adult years. With that trauma also closed the door on many relationships he relied heavily on, and the compulsive behaviors surrounding addiction became less about adventure and more about survival. However, in the deepest of struggles, of course, there is hope. Though met with those challenges many face in addiction, the cycle of relapse and hope, he found periods of sobriety. And sobriety is often imperfect, but finding the gratitude in that imperfection. Life on the sober side of things is still messy, still complicated, and yet learning how to face those challenges sober is what recovery is all about. He worked so hard in his recovery to be the man his family needed and to find forgiveness for himself. Thank you.
So, good morning. The task for today was to write your eulogy as if your life ended today and what it would say up till now. So here goes my best shot at it. We are all here today for Justin Michael Hardesty. No need in saying who he is survived by, because as you can see, we are all here. The man laying in that box had so much potential. Potential that was never actualized, was never tapped into, because when life would come at him, he would give up and give in and allow the dark parts of his life to overtake him. We all know he had a smile that could light up a room and a laugh that would bring a smile to anyone's face. But below the surface, there was a war raging inside of him, a war he could not win, a war that ultimately took him from us. We know he was witty and intelligent and able to create many things. And as we all know, nothing ever lasted. Two of his greatest accomplishments sit here with us today. Grace and Michael, and Elijah Franklin. He loved these two with all his heart and wanted nothing more than to be with them and watch them grow and become young men and get married and have sons of their own. But even the threat of losing that was not strong enough to conquer the demons inside. Now we all sit here with tear-stained faces, wondering why he did what he did. I guess now we share some of that pain with him. In closing, we all loved him, and he will be missed. And to any of you here today, if you are battling a war inside no one knows about, tell someone and talk to someone. Don't give up the fight as he did. Justin, we all love you. And we hope to see you again someday. Love your father and your family.
Hello, my name is Joseph. Alcoholic addict. I've been tasked to write my eulogy if I was to die today. And it will go like this. Here's Joseph Idley, loving father, survived by 2 kids, a boy and a girl, Josiah and Jaden. I also have a daughter that was deceased, that died, and her name was Nina Celine. I have 3 brothers, 1 sister, and my stepmother. And he was a drug addict, alcoholic, that was constantly in and out of rehabs. That was the only thing consistent in his life. He was virtually homeless from 40 to 52, more like 36 to 52, which is the age he died. He was devoted to prayer and an avid reader of the Bible, but he went nowhere with it. He wanted a secure job to rebuild his life, set an example for the people around him, wanted to be stable and secure for his future and be dedicated to God, but lacked the focus and discipline to achieve those things. He constantly dreamed of a better way of life, but procrastination led him every day to live in a nightmare. At least he was consistent in that. He didn't want to die, but he did nothing to live. He wanted to take power back from the things that held him back, but he couldn't avoid or escape himself. He wanted to leave, but ended up following nothing but an endless road to nowhere fast. He was a master of air with no foundation. He had everything at his fingertips, but ended up fumbling multiple bags. All he left behind was hard time and bad breaks for those he encountered. A legacy of nothing but goals not achieved, amends never made, no light, just shade for the people that cared the most. This moment is frozen forever. It can't be changed because he didn't achieve change, wasn't disciplined to maintain change, estranged from every vital person in his life, surprised he wasn't suicidal. In closing, he felt he had to have one more. Don't cry because he lies there, because he lied when he was here, not only to the few in attendance, but to himself. Rest wherever you end up. Hopefully you find freedom. And that is a eulogy for Joseph William Idley Jr. Thank you.
Sometimes I still find it hard. Sometimes I still find it difficult when I look back on the process of mending my wings. But those are the times that I spread my wings and I take to the sky. Those are the times that I just soar amongst the clouds of confidence, the clouds of peace, the clouds of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the acquisition of coping skills. And I just close my eyes and fly. No.